If I can
I
get.
was like waiting for the startup screen. There's the little like preview screen depending on how you start the live, and I was like expecting a little preview ready to go live screen. It's like, oh, live, hello.
Hi. Well, I saw Jeff's comment, and I was like, we probably better just start rolling. People are here and watching already, so.
Let's see. I just got the notification. I'm gonna pull it up on my laptop so I can see
Yep.
the chat easier. What's up, George?
Same goes. Morning, everybody.
Hello. I was busy chatting in the Discord. I didn't even get my new coffee brewed yet. Oops.
Hey, well, get it done. I'll entertain them. I'll tell them what we're up to today.
I'll put some rocks on display.
Yeah. Yeah, don't keep Jeff waiting, he says. Mike, jump in and say hello. Good morning, son. All right, so Rufo found shells on the beach, and I found some shells in a big septarian nodule. So we're going to compare shells from coast to coast this morning. And then he's got some stuff that he's got an update on some stuff from the Herkimer mine. And I've got some other goodies that we can look at as we get going here. It's getting too hot for cutting rocks. Yeah, that's been how it's been going lately here too. Just outrageously hot. Definitely too hot to be hunting rocks.
Yeah, it's been toasty. It was nice to be out at the beach the other day.
I bet. It's been making me really consider doing some more night hunts with the UV just because it's so hot in the day. That's beautiful, Chris.
That's a little piece from Herkimer that I was going to leave on the screen while I go make my coffee. Or, I don't know. Actually, this one's almost better.
Ooh. Morning, Chaos. Goodness sake. That's funny. Oh, the decisions you have to make this morning.
And that's some pretty difficult decisions right there. Going a little fast. Oh, no, that's not the button I wanted.
Now we're going all the way around.
Yeah, I'm on this little thing.
I'm going to move around a little bit.
There we go. Speed. It was just going so fast. All right, I'll be right back while you chat with everyone. Good morning, everyone jumping in. Hi.
So,
Geo, Captain Chaos. Yeah.
me and my friend have just absolutely wrecked my back deck. We have got fossils and chunks of this giant septarian nodule just all over the place. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. The video looks a little jumpy on my end, so I'm trying to move really slow. I love that in this piece you can see some of the sutures. And it's got a little she's still a little discolored on her undercarriage, Jennifer, but she doesn't smell as bad as she did anymore. She really got in it that day. So I love that piece just as it is. What a cool little specimen piece. So these are ammonites. These round looking shells here. I'm sure some of you guys know that, but even still, I get it confused. And then there's a piece of help me out there, the squids, belemite, sticking out right there. But yeah, you can see the sutures in this piece as well.
Nice. Yeah, I'm actually not really good with fossils myself.
So the belemites are the squids, the ammonites are the
Yeah.
round ones. And
Those two I know. Those are some of the very few that I know, actually.
these
I've got
were
some.
these were Rebecca's finds, and these were the finds that she got so excited about. She's like, "Tell me that these aren't seashells." She could just tell instantly that these were seashells, but these are brachiopods, are they not? I think they are. And then I found one that I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty. So we have literally just been crushing this septarian nodule into smaller, more manageable pieces. Let me see if I can find that sunbeam a little bit here. I'm not sure what this is. Honestly, it's big, whatever it is. This whole bit here. And then the inside of it on this side over here. And that stuff has taken
Nice.
quite a nice polish. That's a pretty big chunk still. That's kind of heavy. So these are some that we've finished, and then we've managed to get just little baggies of little fossils that some of these are polished, these are not. And then we have just an array of things that we still get to go through. So I sent some of this home with her. She's got a Dremel tool, and she is learning how to polish things with the Dremel. And she's loving it. She's been having a blast. So I could,
Yeah, I still.
in all honesty, I could give her all of this. It wouldn't break my heart, and it would keep her busy all winter. Big belemite chunk sticking out
Right.
there.
I need to get a new Dremel still. It's been on my list for a while to buy, but I just figured I don't really have the space to do it here, so I'm not going to do it till we move.
Yeah, they're a handy little tool to have. You can do lots with them. Yeah, that was a fun adventure. We were out there for hours. And it was really different terrain than I'm used to. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to slow down, take my time, really figure out what it is I'm looking at here and kind of get a feel for what's here and what we're finding. And we just went nuts. We had so much fun. Good morning, 406.
Hey, Travis. I was looking for my belemnites while you were saying that. I was sitting here digging around my boxes. I'm like, where are they? I know I've got a bunch. I was trying to find them to show. I can't find them.
Yeah, that was a blast. We hope to get back out there again soon too, because as we were leaving, well, we were in this big crack and it was pretty straight up and down, and we were like scaling the side of this like crumbly crack in the hillside. And we looked across and we could see one of these big septarians just sitting on the hillside on the other side. So we cruised over there, broke it open. It was full of fossils. And then, another one and another one. And we just had a ball. And when we were leaving, when we were pulling out, we could look up on the hillside and see a couple more of those big septarians up on the hill. We were like, we didn't even look at those. We got to come back. As if we need
Nice.
more. I mean, my deck is covered, but why not?
More. You can never have enough, especially if they're
Right.
huge.
I thought enough I could share even.
Chaos, to answer your question, I did notice that Susan was a mod, but I didn't see it happen. I was not paying much attention to the chat that day. I was really into the video. Yeah, not all days do I really pay attention to the chat that well. Oh, my morning hair is bugging me. I'm
Yeah,
like, it just looks
sometimes it's
horrible.
hard. And 406, I just went uh maybe 4 miles down the road from my house. So this is oil well country, and there are tons of little gravel roads that go out to the pump jacks and the gas wells and things, and I'll just pull off and start walking on one of the oil well roads. And I just happened to find I was out looking for the old glass bottle dumps, and that was one
Mm.
of the old dump sites. And I'd done a pretty good job searching over for glass and searching the hillside where they were. And I turned around and looked and was like, I want to go over there. So I did. So I don't go far from my house ever, usually within a 10-mile radius.
Yeah, it's such a hassle because the further you go, you got to drive that far back. However far you go, you've got to make that distance back, and so you got to be prepared. Like, yeah, oh yeah, it's not bad for me to drive 4 hours to Herkimer. That's not bad, but it's 4 hours back. Sometimes 5 or 6 with traffic coming back through New York
Mhm.
City. Like, depending on the day and time, like, because if I can leave at 3 or 4 in the morning and drive up to Herkimer, sure, I'm there by 8, 9 a.m., whatever, and digging. But then it doesn't matter what time I come back. Traffic is so busy in New York that like from 4 p.m. to midnight, the bridge and the whole area I have to drive to come across Long Island is so packed. It's like a 5 to 6 hour drive home, no matter what, not 4.
Yuck.
So it's 10 hours of driving for however many hours of digging I might get in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then if you get bad weather or something that turns you around before you're really ready to go home, it's just like enough to make you want to cry.
Right. When people have asked me why don't you camp and stuff, it's like, well, because I got rid of all of my camping gear. As we moved around and when we lived in California in the city and stuff, it happened and I never got new gear. We had a very small studio. We had to condense and get rid of everything. I mean, got rid of all my fishing gear, my camping gear, everything that I had was just gone. I was like, I'm living in the city. I guess I don't need this stuff now. And yeah, just haven't ever got most of that stuff back. So it's like, yeah, I've got a blow up mattress and a couple things and blankets I could take and sleep in my SUV. But I leave my
Yeah.
dogs at home and my girlfriend, and I'm a homebody. I like to be at home these days. I like to
I
get out
am
in
a
nature and
homebody
do stuff, but I
too.
love my house.
And I just want to play with my rocks and just, yeah, do my own thing, zone out in my own world. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I have so many rocks here. I can't leave them alone. They'll get sad.
You'll get lonely. Uh, we were joking about it. I was like, it's getting warm enough outside that I can take my rocks outside again. And somebody was like, you bring them in the winter? Well, yeah, it's freezing outside. And that's
Yeah.
not the real reason I bring them in. I bring them in so that I have stuff to do
Well, okay,
when I
actually,
can't go out rock hounding.
well, let me tell you something. Being from Utah, there are actually quite a few rocks you need to bring in during the winter, and that's not a joke. They will get destroyed. And what will
Yeah,
happen is if they are porous rocks in Utah, they're going to fill with water. And then in the
freeze
winter, they're going to
my
fill with snow and ice and water. And they're going to expand and they're going to break. And plenty
mind.
of rocks are going to shatter on you in your yard if you let them freeze and whatever, refreeze and expand and whatever. It's the same reason you go out and you go out in the desert, it looks like an untouched area, and there seems to be exploded rocks sometimes that actually can be freezing. Freezing causes exploded rocks everywhere.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Anywho, let's see. I guess I can show some more Herkimers since
Yeah,
I
you
went to
should.
Herkimer.
So I want you to tell the story about this big rock you hauled in.
Yes, I will. I'll actually, yeah. Here, so here's a small example first.
Yeah.
Um, at Herkimer, we go mining in the hard rock, and it's this dolo stone or limestone. It's a type of limestone, uh, heavy in dolomite. It does get some fossils in it sometimes. In fact, I've got this one right here that I'm not sure, but I think could be some sort of fossil, possibly even the remnant of an ammonite. It's got like just such a perfect uniform curve and shape to it here, and it looks like the body of something.
It
I don't
looks
know.
just like the one I just bookmarked.
Looks like something. Just the shape. But it's
And
got crystals in it.
I thought, wow, I bet I just. Oh, right here. Lingula? It
There's
looks
a
kind of like
Herkimer.
the Lingula guy right there.
Right? Yeah. Something weird like that. Yep.
I mean, I can't say for sure that's what that is, but I bet
No,
it's a
but
cousin of
something.
one of these.
Yeah. Exactly, right? It's something. I bet he had a tail coming off right here.
And it's a brachiopod, so absolutely common as could be.
Right? And it's got little Herkimer diamonds in it.
No.
Little tiny baby Herkimer diamonds in there.
Oh, that's too cool.
So cool. So yeah, there's little versions, and the little druzy. So we bust up the limestone, but we're not out there looking for fossils. We're looking for these, the Herkimer diamonds, which are double terminated form of quartz. They have quite a few variations of forms out in Herkimer. They can be skeletal. You can get the golden healers. You can get scepters. You can get petroleum filled ones that glow in the UV. You can get anhydro ones. I will show one in just a moment. After the big one, I found my first ever Herkimer inside a Herkimer. It's not a phantom. It is a little tiny Herkimer inside a slightly bigger Herkimer. And it's just inside of it. You can see it as you turn it. It's floating in there, and it's like, what? I almost wonder if there's a thin layer of fluid in between them. There's like a little Herkimer, a thin layer of fluid or oil, and then the other Herkimer.
So my
Wild.
girlfriend hauled home this huge septarian, and I mean, this thing was. She carried it like this, and it was huge. And we've busted it all into to bits that are this big or smaller. But if you look on the back of this rock right here, this is this clam's bivalve or whatever that little hingy part is.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure where he stops, but he comes around the top. So he's got to be, I mean, this big,
Wow.
right? I mean, just from this hingy part, bivalve, whatever it's called, alone, I think I could kind of see where he ends here, but I'm just not
Wow.
super sure. So we find this enormous clam inside of this enormous septarian, and my girlfriend's mind just goes, she's like, are all the tiny fossils in this rock inside of this clam? Was he being a bully? Was he eating everything around him?
Is he eating it?
And I was like, I don't think so. I think it really that a lot of this is all just a lot of separate little pieces. But
Yeah.
hey, you never know. If I find a giant clam with another clam inside of it, I'll tell you guys.
That'd be so cool.
He eating everything.
So yeah.
She cracked me up.
So the big one you said I should show. While I was out in Herkimer, I found this really large stone here, but it had this diamond in it to show y'all there. So I just had to bring this one home. But it was huge. It was all of this and all of that. Oh, I'm not the strongest guy, but this is not a light stone. In fact, I kind of want to go get my scale because I never weighed it to see how much I brought home. But took it over to the countertop store across the street from my house and had them chop it up. Rather, they cut into it. You can see they just scored some lines around the edge for me
Mm-hmm.
so I could stick my chisel in there.
And
And
speed
then
it.
this is where it split.
Who all in the
So
chat is jealous that they don't have a countertop store across the street from their house?
that will let them cut stuff.
That is amazing. I can't believe how big that is and how clear that one below it is.
Yeah. I bet there's probably a couple more little ones in there too. Let's see. I don't think I've got my light on. There we go.
Wow. So
And some
here
rainbows in it.
it's beautiful. So here you are packing home an 80-pound rock and then chiseling into it for the next 3 days. And I'm over here doing the exact same thing. You're finding Herkimers in yours, though, and I'm finding giant cannibalistic clams. That is so cool.
And it's got his little jersey pockets.
Oh, the pockets are just as cool. Well, maybe not just as cool, but they're a nice touch.
I mean, they're micro Herkimers. If you look at them really close, they're still the same quartz, and they're little micro. Some of them are even little double terminated ones, and sometimes it's a whole crust of little double terminated, like a million little gems. So it can be pretty cool. You can see it didn't break perfectly where they scored the
Uh-huh.
lines. Getting heavy holding this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So they cut around it. And I'll still probably break all of this off and
Mhm.
then sell this as a front, this front chunk as a display piece.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna get my scale. I bet people are curious. Let's see what this weighs. Let me go get the scale.
In the meantime, I want to go back to a comment from Travis just a minute ago, and he was talking about finding fossils on the Yellowstone. And I watched your video, Travis, me and my friend, and she was being super sarcastic. She was like, "Shut that off. No one wants to see that. No, quit it." So I believe it was a big ammonite chunk that Travis found, and it was completely covered in uh with the sparkly like mother of pearl looking stuff that Theo's always chasing to make jewelry out of. I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh my gosh, though, Travis, that piece was gorgeous. It puts my stuff to shame, so as the Yellowstone always does. That's okay though. I get first pick out here on the prairie. I'll take you to my spot if you want. We can go find fossils, Travis.
Oh, got it.
What's
I gotta
way?
put them both on at the same time. Dang. Okay, hold on. Said
Stack 'em up.
22.9 for just the big chunk.
Greg's guessing 25 pounds. Excuse me. ER, good morning. $32. Is that a bug attack me?
But that's only half the rock. I had to break off just as much to bring it home. So it was a
Ammo.
60
There
to
you
80
go.
pound rock.
Goodness gracious. The things we do. Oh,
Right? Oh, it fell out. Shoot.
good
I saved
morning.
this little piece because there was a little Herkimer right in there. It fell out and I lost it.
But it left a cool little
Oops.
Drizzy pocket. And
Yeah,
if
there
you
was a,
could
it was just
find
a
it,
tiny one. There was a little baby one in there. Yeah, maybe it's in my box.
most likely.
other other perks of the countertop store. I got like 20 more pounds of this scrap stone, but they have all sorts of like labradorite and cool things over there that they let me take. Can cut that into small marble spheres. I don't know. And now go wash my hands again.
And it's dirty, as rocks tend to be. Excuse me. Yeah, a lot of our like old-timey geology books and stuff that talk about some of the first surveys that they did back in the 1800s and stuff. They talk about there being fluorite here, and they say that our fluorite gets really dark, like almost black, because of the I can't remember some kind of weathering process that it undergoes here. But they also talk about they say there are marbles here that are comparable to some of the finest marbles in the world. Is some of the terms that they have used back then, and I wouldn't know marble if it fell out of the sky and hit me in the face. I don't know. I just
Right?
Right? So, I've often thought about maybe contacting a countertop place too and be like, "What does rough marble look like? Before you polish it, what does it look like?" Do you have any examples?
Um, I could actually definitely show you. I've got a few samples. Trying to think where they're at. I've also got some man-made marbles, but that's different. I got a few
Yeah.
man-made samples of the conglomerate countertops that they fabricate. I'm just reading the chat here.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Greg says. I'm reading the chat too. I'm glad they're chatting. It's always so fun to say good morning to everybody, especially in the middle of the week. We've made it, guys.
Let me show you here, Greg. Hold on.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go refill. By the way, in case you guys were curious, this is my Aussie Man Reviews cup.
Yeah, I stashed a few chunks that when you come up, Greg, I was going to give you and Tyler some chunks of it here. It does not do it justice with this light. But yeah, scraps off the end from the countertop store. Oh, and then this little beaut for Greg. He got this fluorite from me. Saving this for when he comes down in 2 weeks to come visit. Lovely rainbows in there.
Morning, Al.
I love when it's got rainbows in anything.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, stunning fluorite for Greg. He also got a nice chunk of Tiffany coming his way. And the Tiffany has some nice fluorite. Well, it is a fluorite stone. That's, I guess, what gives the Tiffany its color is fluorite. But some of the pieces have little bits of green druzy fluorite in them. Not all of them. Thought this one had some. Oh yeah, there's a little druzy. Just down in there. Yeah, I love Tiffany stone. The purple is gorgeous.
I never thought about that being why it's purple, but that makes absolute sense.
Yeah, I guess it's a fluorite stone. I didn't know that either. I just learned that. Always learning more as we're
She
going.
loves your cheese board made from labradorite countertop slabs.
So I'm doing a couple things with some of those. I've got one that I'm making a nameplate right now. I'm having my rock guy who does all my sends all my slabs and stuff to me for my live sales. He's cutting out a nameplate that says Rufo Tris or Rooted Rockhound, or I don't remember what I sent him. I don't know. I think it was just Rooted Rockhound. But he's gonna cut out. He's got a laser cutter that cuts through like wood and stuff, and so he's gonna cut my name out in wood, and I'm gonna paint it and put it on this slab of labradorite that I have that's cut like a triangle. It's cut like a nameplate, like you'd see on the principal's desk. You walk in and there's the principal's nameplate. It's that, but it's a solid chunk of labradorite. So I was like, that'll be pretty cool, I think, to have in the background of my live sales and stuff. Maybe.
Jennifer, are you going to the Gem and Mineral Show in Billings tomorrow?
Yes.
I'm excited too. I'm probably not going to go, but I'm excited to see what everybody comes up with out of there and hear all the exciting stories. Yeah, Jeff, I got the woohoo on that one. And Travis is going Friday and Saturday. I work both Friday
Nice.
and Saturday.
I want to see the videos, Travis.
For sure. For
There better be
sure.
some videos. So, I guess to show it, here's the rest of the Herkimers. So there's still actually more in the bucket. We've got some chunks here covered in druzy. Some in the bins here I've been cleaning. And then that's the bin with all the little gems. So let me pull out the one that I was going to show you. That's the Herkimer inside the Herkimer. Get you set back up in the light.
You guys, I have to work. I tell you all the time, my real job gets in the way of my rocks all the time.
Right? It's such a bummer. Oh man,
Uh,
once I move, that's gonna be my life. Is I'm gonna be back to school and working a real job and stuff. The rock things will be put on hold in the background.
yeah. No, I'm gonna have to rely on you guys. I'm gonna have to live vicariously through you. So stay in touch. Send me lots of messages, lots of videos. I don't know if you
This
see any meteorites, I might be able to fly down there real quick, but
this was my first Herkimer of the day,
that's a stunning little herc.
so I put it in a nice little baggie saying
I
first.
like it labeled first. I love that.
Yeah, and then this one put in a little perky box. You might be able to see it without the magnifying, but it also helps. See the
Look at
little
all the
baby
pieces
Herc?
on that. Yeah, that herc inside a herc. I love that.
Oops, spun it.
Too cool.
That's just so wild. I can't believe that.
Did you talk to them about that? Ask them what the probability of that is?
No, I've definitely seen them before, and they call it something else. It's not a phantom. I think it's called a baby or a ghost baby or something. I don't know. People have different names for it too, but yeah, I need to actually jump on the group there because I'm in their private member Facebook group. I should go message
Mhm.
them there and be like, "Hey, what's this one called?"
Right?
And it doesn't really look like it. See if I can get a good focus. It's actually kind of a broken tip, but like a healed broken tip on this one. And then where is it? There's another baby on this one. There it is. There's another baby right there on the outside, halfway in it.
They're being funny in the comments.
I'm missing, trying to show I'm actually missing all that. Let's see.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. We're loving the ghost baby. It's all over in the chat now. Ghost baby.
Ghost baby. And then just some other nice little gemmy ones that I found.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I was after. I was hoping to find a ton of nice little gemmy ones, but I did not find very many. This is pretty much all of the nice gems that aren't still in some host rock.
Hmm.
So most of these are going to go to my Patreon members, like Jeff.
Hmm. Hmm.
This one right here. I mean, these still need to be cleaned, obviously. They got dirt all over them, but I can tell they're going to be nice little gemmy ones. Once they're
Yep.
cleaned up like these, they'll sparkle quite a bit as soon as the dirt's gone. But I was saving that for my next video. I still haven't filmed the rest of the Herkimer video. Unfortunately, this I can't show you guys on the live because we can't go to the macro lens. But
Uh-huh.
all of that you see in there is little cubes of dolomite.
Wow.
That's little tiny micro cubes of dolomite, and if we could see it really close, it actually sometimes looks like pyrite, but it's like dolomite sometimes with iron or hematite staining like that. It's coming off on my fingers. That's the
Hmm.
hematite and carbon. Yeah, Herkimer was a blast. I can't wait going back again in 2 weeks with Greg
Yeah.
and Tyler. Geode Cracker will be joining us.
Very cool. When's Jeff coming up? He said he's coming up as soon as the Yellowstone went down.
Yeah, I don't know about Jeff.
About time, Jeff.
Jeff's a busy guy working and driving all over the place. I think it also just depends if he gets a job driving up there.
Yeah, exactly. He said that his company would find him a route up here that he needed to take so he could come up, but send him on this way.
A whole bunch of
He said not in the winter though.
yeah, not in the winter. Got a bunch of fragments and partials, and I'm gonna send a couple of these your way too, as a little return thank you for the box that you sent.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, as you can see, I didn't get a lot of nice gemmy ones, but there's some nice fragments. This was my best fragment one. It was, you could see the tip of a big point.
and a lot of rainbow in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, despite it being broken, it was actually one of my best finds of the day, I think.
Mhm.
There's lots of little nice partial points still. So yeah, I'll be surprised when you get your box. I don't even know which ones I'm putting in there yet.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited.
I still
Morning,
need to
Becky.
clean a bunch. This one I saw is the only one like it. It looked like a septarian. It reminded me of the
It
veins.
does.
This would be a skeletal. This would be what they call a skeletal.
I picked up a weird little septarian piece. Where did I put it? I mean, it's not much, but you get the same thing where they meet. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
neat. That's crazy. So that kind of that darker piece reminds me that when Rebecca and I were out hunting the other day, I found some of the weirdest. Well, she found a couple too, and she picked them up and brought them home too. But so we found some really massive gypsum pieces. They're not
Oh
as
yeah.
clear as some of the ones that my kid was finding, but they're pretty impressive.
Yeah, those are nice gypsum.
And I just couldn't believe it. I was just I couldn't I was picking them up and I just couldn't even carry them all. There were so many. But we found some stuff that was different. And that darker kind of I don't know, like septarian like looking Herkimer kind of reminded me of this. I don't know why, but so this is just some really really weird mineral associated with the gypsum up here.
Huh.
And it's just like it's all just bent and tortured and just such a weird shape and such it's just got some stuff going on.
It's a funky jerky.
It is really weird, yeah. And I don't know why your darker Herc reminded me because it's a gypsum and it's so much darker than the others, maybe is why that kind of reminded me, but yeah, we'll have to get into this and figure out what's going on. It's a little different. But yeah, some of those pieces of gypsum my kid picked up are really really cool, but man, some of these are just massive. I was like, well, and Rebecca found that her first fossil and she was at the top of the hill having a fit. Come see. And I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And I'm like, I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'll be there in just a second. Hang on, I'm coming. I'm picking 'em up. I'm on my way. I really am. So yeah, look at it's just like ah. And then there were some of these that were like doubled, like this kind of big one that I have is almost like a double piece. And there were quite a few of those in this mess of stuff. Looks like a mustache. I mustache you a question.
Mustachio. A mustachio. Do you like rocks?
Like the rocks. There were a few pieces that were really sharp and clean. And I tried putting these in acid to see if they would brighten up, and they did not. They didn't dissolve into nothing though either, so I kind of wondered if that would happen, but yeah, so I don't know, it's just kind of I mean a completely different thing than a Herkimer crystal, but still just kind of I don't know. Shiny and pretty. Ah, you've got me trumped there. I'm gonna put my gypsum away.
No,
It
the gypsum's great. I'm just
is,
cleaning
it's
little
cool.
tiny clusters.
That's cool though. I also have a bag full of stuff that I have not looked at yet. So I've got some. some septarian crystals, some
Ooh.
calcite probably. And again, this is off of that big chunk that glows red under the UVs. So
Oh, yes. I love the red.
I do too. It's so cool. I could have picked up so much of that up there. I tried to not fill my bag with that. I was like, I can always come back. It's not far from the house.
There's always more.
There's
That's such a
always
hard
more.
thing to tell yourself.
I'm gonna dump this. This is a bag of stuff that I found when I was out the other day that I haven't even cleaned up and looked at. If I remember right, there's a good piece of pet wood in here and there's a marble in here.
Always
I
finding
hope,
marbles.
hope that's where I lost my marble.
It's all the people out there shooting slingshots.
Well, like I said, we were kind of at the old city dump,
Oh, there's
you
the
know.
glass dump too. You guys have, yeah, yeah,
So, yep. So there it is. There's my marble find.
yeah. We used to find tons of marbles out in this one spot we'd go because people use them for slingshots.
I wonder if that, well, like, I don't know. I always find them with the junk, with the bottles and the old shoes and the old
And maybe they're shooting bottles with slingshots.
car parts. And, yeah, maybe, but maybe that's how they get lost out in the field is little kids are shooting them out of slingshots. Oh my goodness. So I'm doing the same thing Chris is doing here. I've got a scrub. It should turn you guys around. This looks just like some of that Kentucky agate that Jeff just sent me. And I have no idea what it is.
Gonna dry that one off. You can look at my dirty water. All right, Greg. Later.
Rebecca says she's going to leave me here and head out to the big fossil rocks before it gets hot. Wait for me. You don't even know. You don't even remember how to get out there.
Ooh, look,
Take you to my spot.
that one's got little babies on it too. Look,
Oh,
there's a
it
little baby there,
does.
a little baby there.
Oh, I love that. Such a flashy face too.
Yeah, I just cleaned it off. Look how flat that face is. This face has the natural swirls and growth lines in it. Has the record keeper lines or whatever you want to call it. But then this face is so perfect and looks polished. But I pulled it out of the ground like this.
That's so cool. So cool. Ooh, you guys. I just pulled out a very pretty piece of pet wood.
That's a pretty good one.
It's got some cool stuff happening on that side.
Nice.
That's not the piece I
Ooh,
remember putting in here, but that's a good one. Oh yeah, here it is.
that reminds me of something else I should show too. One sec. I'll be right back.
Sure, yeah. There's another one.
Shh.
I don't know if it's looking at me or the wood. Those aren't really the greatest for showing you the. Another little pet wood. Wow. I don't even know what that is. Some kind of quartz. We looked at the one that looks like the Kentucky agate. We looked at those two pet woods. I'm going to put them on the ground. What you got, Chris?
All right, you ready for this? This is
Yeah.
petrified palm wood. It is a very beautiful palm wood. And it's bigger than my head.
Oh,
It's huge.
oh my goodness. Where'd you get that?
Gene, my rock guy, sent it to me as a gift.
Oh my goodness. How do you even
So,
polish that? Must be with a machine, huh?
it's huge.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
and let's see if I can show you the wood grain here. Because it's
Oh,
palm wood.
it's stunning.
Oh, love it.
Oh,
That piece is just amazing. And that polish is really good.
Really good. I want to know how he did that.
Yeah. That might be something you do on like the big Vibe Lab
Or
table.
do you get
That's
a
my
machine? And
fingerprints. It's just
I want to know.
it's so flat. There's not really any like variation in the light. There's no like real
No,
wobble.
no. It's beautiful. Be right back. Bio break. Scrubbing waters and drinking coffee made me need to go take a bio break. Be right
So
back.
let's see. I'll see if I can show you all in the UV here. I don't remember if it's got much UV. I'm just so flabbergasted at how gorgeous it is. Oh, yeah, most of that looks like red. So all the blue, purple, however it's coming across on your screen, looks like polishing compound. A lot of that looks like polishing compound. Yeah, stuck in the porous parts. It's more heavy around the edges. But that's not, I don't think that's natural to the palm wood. The palm wood has some reaction, and maybe we'll look at it in the night. I'll make a little clip of it tonight once the sun goes down so that everyone can really see the reaction of the wood itself. But I might need to go give it a good scrub down with some soap and water first, just to try and remove any of that compound beforehand. Because look, that compound glows on another level. That's not something in the palm wood. I'm 90% sure. I would even go as far to say 95 or more percent sure. I'm pretty positive. In fact, I just scrubbed it pretty hard with my finger. And it looked like it came off the rock. Huh. So yeah, anyhow, that is a stunner.
I love pet wood.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Love it. Yeah, I've still
That's
got quite a
what
bit
happens.
more.
I always just rock hunt like right here in my backyard, but you've rock hunted in at least a couple of different states. How
Mm-hmm.
many different states have you hunted in?
So I grew up loving rocks as a kid, and as a little kid, I had collected rocks in Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada. Did I say Nevada? I don't know. Nevada, Idaho, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and California. Maybe Idaho, Wyoming. All those states as a kid. I had picked up rocks. And then as an adult, I let go of the rock hounding for years and years. But with COVID and everyone being stuck inside during the pandemic and all that crap, got really heavy back into it. Started switch my YouTube channel over from gaming to rocks and prospecting and gold panning, and so it's been like 3 years, a little more than 3 years now. I've been doing it, and in that time, I've gone to specifically for like rock hounding, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and New York, Connecticut, Maine. I did a little rock hounding while I was in Italy, little rock hounding while I was in the Dominican Republic, little rock hounding in Mexico. Arizona earlier for New Year's. I was in Arizona, and that's about it. But I plan on going to so many more. Oh, New Jersey. I did New Jersey recently too. But yeah, I plan on adding a lot more places to that list, especially in the 6 weeks before we move. I might be going to Pennsylvania and maybe upstate New York again to two new places to check out. I don't know. Not very much time left though before we move and head out west again and be back in California. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
How about you? How many different states have you actually hounded in?
Just one. Just one.
We
I've
are
been into rock
chaos.
climbing now for several years, quite a handful of years. And it started because my kid took a fossil hunting trip in grade school, and he came home with a handful of fossils. And we started watching Theo Kellison on how to prep those fossils. And he was prepping fossils. He was like 10 years old. And so I kind of had to get on board, as a mom, you kind of got to
Mm-hmm.
learn, help your kid get into their hobbies and stuff. And so we bought a tumbler, and Nat Geo tumbler, and it came with a bunch of rocks. And then we did a couple loads of local stuff. And then that was it. He started hounding me, can we go look for fossils? Can we go look for fossils? And that really just turned into rock hounding in general. And yeah, the whole family's been bit. My mom will go with us. My kids will go. My brother will go.
I tell you what, I would be out 10 times more if I had people to go with, but most of my adventures are alone, and it is near impossible to get my partner to go out with me. But if she would, or if I had other people around, I'd be out so much more. So hopefully, once I'm in California and closer to some other hounds who want to go and stuff, I might hopefully go out a lot more. But also be back in school full time, getting my master's degree and working as well. So
Yeah, yeah. So that eats up a bunch of time.
yeah.
Here's another little pet lid. He's round and everything. Lucky. Oh, see, I don't think I need to go anywhere else. I'm pretty happy right here.
Yeah, you've got a lot
Which
of
is
great stuff up
nonsense
there.
because there are so many great places out here. There really are. So, and I need to be more adventurous and get out more. But yeah, I'm a single mom and I drive a 1995 Chevy pickup. So it's like, how far do you
I
really want to take it?
or on the alternative, right? So I'm alone. I don't really carry guns. I'll carry some things sometimes, but when I'm out driving, especially across multiple state lines and stuff, and not, yeah, no. Anyway, when I'm in Utah, often we'd have guns at my dad's property and all that stuff, and we've got mountain lions and stuff out there that are a pest, and you kind of have to sometimes. But I'm not one for usually carrying that stuff, and there's a lot of people I'm worried about more than anything else is the people. It can scare off
Mhm,
bears and animals. But like I almost went
exactly.
up into the Appalachia, however, don't care, whatever. You say Appalachia, they'll throw an Appalachia. Um, but I almost went up there and I was checking out these spots and I found some. I was scouting on Mindat and the BLM sites and looking at all the different maps and found an area. I was like, okay, I could go check this out. And I'm looking at all the Google satellite images. I'm like, why are there like 8 burned out cars off all the sides of the road in like a mile stretch here? What is going on? I'm like, oh no, I've seen the hills have eyes. No, never mind. I'm not going there. Just
Oh,
like, yeah, no, seemed like real sketchy. But when I go alone to all these places, I'm like, yeah, maybe I ought to be careful and not
yeah,
safer
I
to just say
usually go
no.
alone too. I actually kind of like it because it's so quiet and peaceful, and I can stop and start whenever I want. I can, whatever I want. I don't mind going by myself. I get to pick the spot. I get to do my thing, and it's my me time. And especially, like I say, as a busy mom, like my me time is like,
Hmm.
so
Well,
I
that's
don't
why,
mind going alone.
I do love doing the public locations like that. Like, especially the beach. The beaches are crowded here. I'm never truly alone on any beach here on Long Island. It's a very populated place. There's always someone within eyesight. You're never with out of eyesight of someone unless you're out there at nighttime, which you just should not do. You do not go on. I mean, they just caught. I mean, not to be a donor on that kind of stuff. They just caught a serial killer. Like I'd been terrorizing the island for decades. He's been. Anyway, they just busted him out here. It's been like a huge story on the island, but it was dangerous. You don't go out on the beaches at night here, and people know that. But for years, it still happens. Ugh. Anyway, um, aside from that, that's why I try and go to public places. And the Herkimer place, it's loaded with lots of people. But I still went alone last week by myself, so there's people all around. But I get to have my me time, dig by myself, and
Yep, yep.
couple little kids come running by to show you what they find. There's a couple little kids out there, and they they found some really nice big ones that are big, complete. I mean, better than anything I found. A couple little
Dude,
kids
I
out there, they
swear kids are
totally
closer to the
beat
ground,
me.
and
Yeah.
you know, this is really weird. I found this rock with this like little agate stuck in the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Amygdaloidal, maybe.
washing it up just now, that agate just got wiggly in there. Let's see if it'll come out.
Oh,
Yep, there it is.
oh,
I thought for sure it was like super stuck in there, but it just came out.
oh, and it was just a hole too. Just boop. Oh, that's
I,
great.
I mean, why not bring something weird like that home? Why not? I can't believe that was in there and now it's out. Like, too weird. Yeah, I've never been afraid to be out alone. I've been doing that since I was a kid. We used to take off and go take our dog, we'd put a backpack on our dog, and he'd help haul all our water and lunch snacks, and we'd be gone all day. And my mom admits now that it scared the hell out of her. She knew kind of where we were, but she just didn't know that we were okay. And I always laughed at her as a kid, and I kind of still do now. I'm like, of course we were fine. But
And what's funny is I still feel fine like that out in like Utah,
mm,
but in Idaho even. But I don't know. It's just so I feel like weirdly the more populated areas,
I know.
there's just more crazy out here. That's why more people equals more crazy. That's all it is.
Agree. Agree.
It's
Yeah.
statistics. And it's statistics. Small town, less crazy. Big town, big city, more crazy.
Well, the crazies in the small town too. You just are, what kind of crazy you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You're familiar with it. So, yeah, I like it out here. If I ever see anybody out here, they usually know me. I've had a couple of people stop and ask, how's it going this morning? Did you find anything? Well, if you're seeing me from the road, that means I just got started. Otherwise, I'm going to be long gone. So, and I've had some people that'll see my truck on the road and drive out, find me, and be like, I was looking for you. Let me
Yeah.
hang out with you. Let me go rock hounding with you. So I just, like I say, I don't ever see anyone out rock hounding. And if I do, I usually know what they're up to. Those are so cool in there.
I totally forgot about this. This is all the shells I grabbed at the beach. Not all the shells. This is the small shells and rocks I grabbed at the beach the other day. There's a couple in here that I think are labradorites, but I showed you before we started. But yeah, show
Mhm.
them else. I got some rocks soaking here in soap water to disinfect them, kill all the beach scum.
Make them smell better.
Yeah, smell like eucalyptus spearmint.
Ooh, yeah. So my tumbler took a crap the other day, quit turning.
Oh no, that's not
I
good.
know, right? I loaded it up and I pushed the button and it started tumbling and I was like, "Yes, let's go." And I came back about, I don't know, half an hour later and it was dead. So
Oh no.
I've asked my kids to look at it, and so this part this part is a what? 100 to 240-volt input. So just this part, we're going to start here, my kid and my significant other say. Let's start here and make sure that the cord is actually getting power to the unit before we take the unit apart, right? So I searched through the house and all of the extra cords we have, and I don't have one exactly like this. I have one that's just a little different volts. So my kid plugs the other one into my tumbler and it takes off like a racehorse. Like it's running too fast. That's too many volts. Okay, but it did turn on and run. So now all we have to do is find one of these. So we find another one of these. One of his friends had one. Plug it in and it won't run. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, so did we get too bad these things, or like what the heck is going on in there? We still haven't figured it out. It's driving me insane.
I'm I'm no engineer. But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Did you get
yeah,
two faulty cords? Like,
right? Or
or
is
is
it
it
just
not kicking on with the needed voltage, but a little
right?
extra is like Frankensteining it back to life?
Right? I don't know. It's just like I say, I'm just like, hey, you guys should look at my Tumblr tonight. Hey, you guys should look at my Tumblr tonight. Hey, guys, how about looking at my Tumblr? So that's as far as we've got so far. We have,
Ooh,
like you say, Frankensteined it back together, but I'm afraid to
yeah.
run it like that.
Actually, that makes me think. So, yeah, they need to take it apart and carefully check the wiring in it and look for loose
Mhm.
connections because it could just be that increased voltage allowed it to jump a connection that's
Sure,
loose.
sure, sure.
Yeah. Oh, as Boot
Yep,
just said it.
exactly. I'm glad I brought it up. I really just wanted a little bit of input so we, have a direction to maybe move with it before I stick it in the dumpster, because I
Well,
don't
yeah,
wanna do
like
that.
I just got a free ultrasonic cleaner to clean my rocks. Oops, sorry, squeak. But I just got a free ultrasonic cleaner for jewelry cleaning, and it's one of the ones that was built in like the 70s or 80s, and those things are built to last. But I brought it home from the club. They gave it to me for free, and I brought it home and it wasn't turning on, and I'm like, I don't think a member would have had this if it wasn't working. And I
Right.
tried a few different plugs and it wasn't working. I took it apart, and sure enough, just the little switch, it was perfectly functioning, but the switch I was toggling was a little bit loose and not actually toggling the switch inside. So I just a little bit of super glue fixed it. Boom, it turns on. It works perfect. And man, that old stuff is just built to last. And I think that ultrasonic cleaner will work for many more years for me.
Awesome. Yeah, well, and my kid's mechanically inclined enough to do stuff like that. He's constantly taking apart Xboxes and computers and stuff and putting everything back together. So,
Cool. Have him fix my laptop, man. Ugh.
well, for real, send it on
My
over.
my
That
I can do it. I'm just
my brother is a genius too, in especially in that way. He is self-employed and that's all he does is gets on, I don't know, Craigslist or whatever he gets on and he'll bid out some of those computer tech jobs. And so he'll bid a job that's up here in my neck of the woods and just show up at my door. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I bid a job over here and so my trip here was paid for." And so he's super smart like that. He's honestly he's a genius.
yeah, mine's not a real issue. I could totally fix it. It's just more laziness. So I need a new laptop battery. My laptop works and it's on right now, but it has to be plugged in. And if the cord comes loose or unplugs, instantly dead. The battery is just kaput in it. Um, and so the problem is not just changing the battery. One of the main screws to take the battery out is completely stripped. So I need to rethread or cut out or remove that stupid screw to get the battery out to replace the battery. Like, and I just don't have the tools here to get out a stripped screw at the moment, I don't think. I mean, I do. I guess I've got my Dremel and stuff. I could drill my Dremel in there a bit and
Mhm. Mhm.
drill a little hole into it and get a tool to pop it out, but it's just annoying.
It is.
There's
It's a
ways to
bummer.
remove stripped screws, but it's just a pain in the butt. And they're small. They're the
And
really
they're
tiny
tiny.
head screws.
Exactly.
I
Exactly. Put on your Optivisor and get going.
mean, the smallest part of me, I was so frustrated. I had all the other screws out. I was sitting there analyzing how much damage would it do to my computer if I snapped this last one out and broke it.
Right? Do
And
we
the answer
really
was
need that screw?
potentially way too much damage because of the part of the housing it was attached to. I'm like, nope, could totally damage my computer if I try and, I don't know. I was almost ready to grab my Dremel and cut the screw out.
Absolutely.
Ugh,
Oh,
but yeah,
Becker just showed up and the sun's coming up. It's a good thing we're under the big umbrella because, boy, it is getting warm out here.
yeah. Been getting toasty. I kind of want to go to the beach again. It was a very pleasant, unexpected trip we had to the beach the other day. And today we've actually only got a high of 79. It's 73 right now, so it's lower than we've
Lucky.
had in a couple weeks.
We're shooting for more like 92 today, I think.
Mm.
How far is the beach from your place?
From our new place, depending which beach I go to, 30-minute drive to the one I like, 45-minute drive to the one with the really, really good rocks. But like to get good shells and rocks, a 25, 30-minute drive, I think.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But I also live right next to a lake too. I can walk. We're like a quarter mile from a lake I can walk to.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of water around here. It's like 30 miles to the nearest river either way.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
yeah, not a lot here.
Well, out here, actually, we're in the middle of just like a huge like issue with the ticks. Like all the bugs have been gone. Like all the bug numbers are down so high. Like flying bugs down. You drive on the roads, you don't get bugs on your windows anymore. It's crazy. I just drove all the way to Herkimer and back, and I'm like, wild. My window was not covered in bugs. That's a bad thing. That is not a good thing. That's very bad. We need the bugs.
We're having
um,
katydids this year.
but yeah, the only ones we do have is ticks, and like tons of ticks. And like, there's some spots we've been walking by and walking our dogs out here, and on the tall grass, all of a sudden, I'm like, what is that black stuff on the top of that tall grass? And I look close, I'm like, that's 200 ticks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
Run!
Right.
I mean, some people know I
Right.
just got a tick bite a few weeks back, and I had to go get the Lyme disease medicine and stuff and all that, like take the Lyme disease treatment. Ugh. I'm just glad
I
it
got
wasn't
bit
the
by a
one.
tick too this year.
Yeah, just you gotta watch like and hope it's not the Lone Star ticks that cause the red meat allergy because I would die. Like,
No
Oh my
kidding.
god.
No kidding. I saw something on the news the other day too that there's some kind of a new like mosquito virus over in Michigan. So,
Well, and so the one here on the island, the red meat allergy one, has become the most prolific occurrence on the island, and they said there was it's up to like over 1,000 cases a year. That's 3 people a day
that's
becoming
crazy.
allergic to red meat from tick bites.
Jackie,
Hey,
that's
Jackie.
insane. That's insane. I see, and I joke about it. I'm like, I probably shouldn't tolerate as much mosquito bites as I do tolerate because I'm gonna be ground zero for some prairie virus. I joke about it, but it's not funny because it really could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Yeah.
say too, like, if I get sick, please tell my doctor I spend a ton of time outside and probably was bit by a bug.
Right.
My neighbor kid is blowing some kind of honky thing. You guys could probably hear it. Thanks, buddy. And I got Rebecca here, and she's itching to go out hounding before it gets too hot. I know ticks are evil, agree. So I think I'm probably gonna wrap this up and go
All
find
right.
something to do with myself. This has been fun. We need to do this again.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it more often. We can switch off whose channel, get each
Yeah,
other's
yeah, we'll do it on your channel
subscribers.
next time. That
Some
sounds
of
like a good
your
idea.
Yeah, so Jennifer, hello, good to meet you.
I
Yeah,
know
I've seen you
Jackie
in the
just
chat
came
before.
in
Yeah, we can meet more of each other's, share some more subs that way and get some new subs, share some hours.
and share stories, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a blast. It's a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got a
so
lot
I
to do.
definitely need to. I need the updates, you guys, on that Gem and Mineral show. Keep in touch.
Yeah, I'll be watching for that, Travis.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Well,
Yes.
guys have a
Yes.
great day, everyone.
Rock on, everyone. Go share the love. Everybody have a good day. Thank you, Rufo.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can end it. You have to kick me? I think you can just end it and we both drop out.
Okay.
However it
Here we
works.
go. All right. Bye,
Bye, y'all.
everybody.